Okay, so today we are going to talk about tornadoes, and we are also going to talk about hurricanes. So, tornadoes, they are rapidly whirling, funnel-shaped clouds, and they reach down from a storm cloud to touch Earth's surface. So it's important to remember that they actually touch the surface of the Earth. Usually, they develop in thick cumulonimbus clouds. So it's important to remember that cumulonimbus clouds part. Most likely to occur during a thunderstorm. It is actually really rare to see a tornado without a thunderstorm previously coming through an area. So how do they form? Well, we kind of talked about this a little bit in class, but a warm, humid air mass moves north from the Gulf of Mexico. So here we are, more like this, in St. Louis. Okay, so the air mass is coming from down here in the Gulf, moving north, okay, and it's warm, bringing moist air. And then a cold, dry air mass is moving from this way, from Canada, moving south. So when these two air masses meet, there is a collision, and that warm air rises like we talked about, and it rises because the cold air is going to push it upward, right? It doesn't just do it on its own. So those two meet, and then they kind of start this swirling process, and that's where we get the tornadoes. So damage, when we talk about tornado damage, we always hear about the F scale, right? The Fujita scale from F0, which is not very much damage, which we hope for if in the fact we do have a tornado, to an F5, which is the extreme damage, where it's almost hard to see what the town ever originally looked like. So it's a result of strong winds and flying debris or objects. So it can sometimes pick up cars and houses and really big objects. Here is an example of the actual scale, the wind speeds that they use to determine the strength of the tornado, as well as the damage that they can see. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about is hurricanes. We don't see a whole lot of hurricanes here in the Midwest. We don't see any, actually. We see them on the news. But we do need to learn a little bit about hurricanes. So it's a tropical cyclone that has winds of 119 kilometers per hour or higher. So they usually form the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans. So the water is warm, and there's a low pressure area, and that allows for the hurricane to kind of stir and begin. So they form or grow larger from warm, humid air, right, because that air evaporates and condenses and creates this storm on the ocean's surface. So usually hurricanes last a little bit longer than all other storms that we encounter, about a week or more. So it loses its strength actually once it reaches land because it doesn't have the warm, moist ocean air anymore to gain energy from. So that's why here in Missouri or in the Midwest, we're not along a coast, so we don't have that ocean water near us, so that's why we don't see hurricanes here close to us. And that's it for now.